Kennedy, and you're watching Dante Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? This just in. So Jaime Munguia versus Jessie Vargas, at least the negotiations fell apart due to Jaime Munguia insisting on having to fight at a catchweight at 156. But then Jaime Munguia, he agrees to fight Patrick Allotey with no catchweight, no stipulations at all for the WBO title. Now, since no one knows who Patrick Allotey is, let me go ahead and tell you. He's a fighter from Ghana who every single time he stepped up in competition, he lost by knockout. And a lot of the opponents that Allotey actually beat or knocked out, they had serious losing records. And when I say serious, I'm talking about some of his opponents had 22 losses, 17 losses, 10 losses. So this is unfortunate news for boxing fans because Jessie Vargas would have been a serious test for Jaime Munguia. And on top of that, that would have been more of a main event. With Jaime fighting against Allotey, that's more of an undercard type of fight. Now I understand if Jaime Munguia was the one that was pushing for this fight against Jessie, and it was Jessie trying to pull out of the fight, and they had to replace Jessie at the last minute, then I could understand him fighting whoever he fights. But that's not the case, because clearly Jaime Munguia, he wanted to fight at 156 with Jessie Vargas, but he's willing to fight Claudy or Allotey at the actual limit that he was supposed to be fighting at. And it's funny, I just said Claudy right now because I had never heard of this guy, Patrick Allotey, either. But when I seen Allotey, just because his name rhymed with Claudy, I was hoping that he was at least a decent fighter. I was hoping maybe he was undefeated or something like that, but that's not the case. So Jaime Munguia, he goes from a fight that he would have been tested in to now being thrown in a mismatch in the main event. This is my question, man. What is going on over there at Golden Boy? I mean, this is the third fighter in a row that has either gave up his belt or turned down tough competition to fight weaker opposition. It was only the other day that I reported Ryan Garcia. He was about to be thrown in tough for the very first time against a really good fighter by the name of Romero Duno. Well, a lot of you guys probably don't even know who Duno is. But apparently, this guy is so good that Ryan Garcia, he actually turned down the fight after his promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, ordered him to fight this guy. Ryan Garcia, he actually volunteered to fight the guy that lost to Duno instead of fighting Duno next. And then he said he'll fight Duno after that, but he wanted to be in the main event because he didn't feel that the fight was being promoted the proper way. So clearly that lets you guys know that Ryan Garcia, he feels that Duno is a big deal because he's willing to fight the guy that lost to Duno right now. And it doesn't even have to be in the main event. But when it comes to Duno in particular, he wants that fight to be in the main event over Jaime Munguia because that would have been on the Jaime Munguia undercard. Speaking of the Jaime Munguia card, Ryan Garcia, he has a new opponent, but I'm going to talk about that in another video. But it's really crazy when you look at this trio. All three of these fighters, they have something in common. Oscar De La Hoya is trying to promote them as the new Golden Boy, if you will. And when I say Golden Boy, I don't mean Oscar is trying to promote them to be the next Oscar. I mean, he believes that these three fighters have the most star potential in his stable. Clearly, Canelo Alvarez is already a star in boxing. But once again, going back to the frustration, Canelo Alvarez just recently gave up two, not one, but two of his belts. He gave his WBC belt to Jamal Charlo. He gave his IBF belt to Darren Yevchenko. And according to reports, right when I was getting my hopes up and I thought that Canelo would be fighting Andrade, the reports now are it looked like it's most likely not going to happen. That doesn't mean it's completely ruled out, but that's not a good sign if Demetrius Andrade and Eddie Hearn hasn't heard anything from Canelo when it comes to him making a decision or even telling them that he's even interested in an Andre fight. Canelo hasn't said any of this yet, so that's not a good sign. And then once again, you have Jaime Munguia. Now, in Jaime Munguia's case, at least Oscar De La Hoya did admit that he wanted to bring him up slowly. He admitted that, but the question is, you have to wonder, when is he going to take off the training wheels? Because he can only fight C and D level opponents in main events for so long. So let's see what happens. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.